Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maximo, and my microphone is really weird today. Also, this is Ben 10 Galactic Racing. Yes, really, I'm not entirely sure why this game is a thing, but it is, we'll have to deal with it. It is a kart racer, if you couldn't tell, excuse my chair there, and it is the very first kart racer that was out on Vita, I think. It didn't come out in the launch wave, but it was very soon after. And it is now gone from the store. I assume the license is expired. I don't know who developed it, but I know D3 Publisher published it. And unless you're a fan of really janky games, that's usually not a good sign, but this game isn't really janky. It's more completely atypical of, well, no, not atypical, typical of what you'd expect from a kart racer. So you've got a bunch of different things here that you can change, which is kind of nice. There are only two difficulties, easy and hard, and easy is actually quite difficult, so it's absolutely fine. And you can also come to the controls to turn on tilt steering, I'd rather hang myself, and rear touchpad stunts, which, to be fair, I would probably also rather hang myself. But yeah, as you can see all your controls there, you don't really need to change them. You can use the D-pad or the left stick if you like, and the rest of them make more than enough sense once you actually get into the game and find out what it's all about. You do have multiplayer in this game, but it is only ad hoc, so there's no real point in me showing that one off. You've got some extras. You can see your records, your credits, your trophies. You can have a look at all the karts and what their stats are, which is actually kind of nice. You can even compare them here, which seems kind of weird, but oh well. You do also have promotional codes, however, the only promotional code I'm aware of is one that's on every website that ever held a cheat section about this game. And I don't actually know Ben 10 well enough to actually put that code in properly, so I don't actually have the spare kart you unlock from it. So you've got a bunch of modes here, and they're all pretty self-explanatory. Showdown actually has 3 different modes of its own, which is basically a battle mode, but you have a little thing that you have to drive through certain gates, and elimination mode, which is literally just the last guy gets eliminated every few seconds. So nothing particularly out of the ordinary. We'll go play a Galactic Grand Prix. That's what you need to do to unlock all the tracks in this game. You can pick a character and a kart. They all have their own different stats and things like that. I've been using Heat Blast and his heavy kart. Their karts do have very significant stats, and they do actually handle quite differently. The characters, however, are all pretty much identical. Not so much in their stats, but like in how they work. So we'll just go on. So yeah. You've got 8 different Grand Prix, and they all have 3 tracks each. You gotta go through all of them, and you have to come at least 3rd in order to successfully move on to the... Oh, well, you have to come 2nd and 1st, which means that's probably the point where I was going to get tripped up anyway, so that's not the worst timing in the world on my part. I've been playing this for about an hour at this point. Honestly, maybe a little bit less, but, you know, it's a kart racer. You get the general idea once you've played through a couple of tracks, so... we'll just go straight into it, shall we? You'll get these little commentaries that play out at the beginning of every track by these 2 space hicks. No, I'm not joking. I'll let it play out in its entirety for you. Every track in the game has one, which is kind of nice, but they're not particularly great or interesting, but they do show off the entire track.
Boy, what flings you inside a volcano, drags you through piles of garbage, and leaves you to fend for yourself in the icy cold reaches of a hostile spatial dimension?
Darla, my date to the 5th grade dance?
I remember her. But I was talking about our next circuit. It's called Volcano Boy. And we's here at the first track, Codon Caldera.
Woo, this one's a doozy right from the start, when the racers go a-jumping straight to the side of the volcano. Yee-haw!
There's a road in there, by the slimmest of definitions, but it's what you might call a tad unstable. Chunks is always breaking off it when racers drive across.
That codon down below ought to blow up 'em real good.
If they makes it out the other side, it's down the hill and through the codon tubes.
And then it's back to the jungle where some of them plants and giant mosquito thingamabobs is blocking the way to the end.
And that's pretty much it.
2, 1.
No, seriously. Oh, hey, I actually got the timing right on the start boost for once. But yes, this is the most... well, I don't like calling it generic because it's got a little bit of its own style to it. But for the most part, it works exactly the same way you expect a kart racer to. You accelerate, you brake, you've got weaponry, and you need to use that weaponry to your advantage as much as possible in order to successfully win the race. The weaponry is all pretty basic stuff. You've got your missiles that fly straight forward, your homing missiles, you've got stuff you drop behind you to act as an environmental hazard, fake pickups, all that basic stuff, more or less. You can throw every weapon both forward and behind you, which is really nice, actually, and can actually help you avoid things like the homing missiles. You do have a couple of other really neat ones, too. Like, you have, like, the lightning pickup, but it also makes the user invincible, which is actually kind of neat. There is the blooper, like, you know what the blooper power-up is, where it inks up your screen so that you can't see. You've got that too, which is actually a pretty neat little power-up, because it actually leaves a big band of rainbow colors across the middle of your screen, and it does actually blind you a fair bit. It's kind of nice, actually. And that's basically it. I mean, the power-ups are really basic. There is also the star power-up, although it's more like a bullet bill power-up, where it just flies you straight forward for a little bit. Although it's actually kind of annoying as a power-up, mainly because of how it, brain work with me here. It doesn't have any set duration. I can't tell for the life of me exactly how long it's supposed to go for, because it expires so flippin' fast. I'm not entirely sure why that's a thing, but it does. The more interesting thing in this game is the offensive and defensive power-ups that you can charge up. So, the offensive and defensive power-ups are charged up in two different ways. The way you do it for the offensive power-ups is that you do stunts in the air, like off the ramps, for example. And if you land them successfully, you will get offensive power. You can do more than one jump in, more than one stunt in one jump. And if you manage to do like multiple stunts that are completely different from each other, so say you push the left stick to the left, the right stick to the left, and then the right stick to the right. If you do that, you'll get, whoops. Whoop, I made it, I'm good. I don't know why I'm doing so well. This game is a lot harder than this makes it look, I must say. I really don't know why this is so easy. As I was saying, you can do more than, if you do more than one unique stunt off a jump, you'll get more power to it, right? Okay, this is gonna make things, ooh. Somehow driving into the wall saved my ass. That's certainly interesting. You know what, I'm gonna slow down for a bit. Let them catch up, so I can actually demonstrate what the offensive power-up does. And I just immediately take first again, because what the hell? So that's what the offensive power-up is. It's a giant wave of attack that will just destroy anything that gets in its way. That's pretty much it, right? Every character has one of those. Every character also has the defensive power-up, which is literally just a shield that goes all around them. And it lasts for a few seconds, and it protects you from everything, including the bloody lightning power-up, which means you can get some really good lead in if you're like me and used it just before you were about to get hit by it, and everyone got shrunk down and slowed down, and you know, all of that sort of basic stuff. But yeah, use the defensive power-up at the right time, and it will save your ass. It will also do collision damage to anyone who runs into you. I'm gonna skip the rest of these track lead-ins just because I find them to be kind of obnoxious. They are... It's funny, you've got an alien galaxy, you can let your imagination run wild, and the first thing you think of is a stereotypical American pick. I don't know, maybe it's just a Ben 10 thing. As I said, I haven't actually seen the show, so I don't know what the reference is. But yeah, you can drift, and when you drift, that's how you build up your defensive power-ups. And that's pretty much it for the entire game. I just described all of the mechanics to you. There are a couple of other neat things they got going on. Like, some of the tracks can change between laps, although it's not as significant as your good old-fashioned Sonic and All-Stars Racing. But they do change relatively significantly sometimes, and it does actually make a difference to the entire track, which is actually pretty cool. Adds a little bit of extra variety. Nothing particularly wrong with it in my point of view. And there are a bunch of different tracks. Now, there are like 4 planets in this game, and all the tracks are shared across them, so there'll be like different variations on the same track theme. And there's nothing wrong with that either. The tracks themselves are actually kind of neat, and they do feel significantly different. The track themes, I should say, anyway. For example, the big techno-style set of tracks where it's set in space are significantly different to the ones that are set on the ice planet, which are significantly different to the ones that are set here on this kind of planet. It's a neat set of tracks. Nothing amazing, but it does the job in providing a little bit of much-needed variety, if I'm being perfectly honest. Because the actual kart racing isn't particularly great. I mean, the karts do all feel different, and they are... And it's not like they're bad to drive, it's just... they're a little bit generic. That's going to be the word I use a lot in this video, generic, because they really do feel relatively, you know, just unimpressive for the most part. Nothing that's horrible, just nothing that's particularly grand either. I don't feel like I'm being particularly challenged driving these things around, although if you're on a track that requires a lot of drifting and you're on a car that's not good with drifting, it's going to wreck you, more than likely. It's better to pick a car where either you get really good at drifting really quickly, which I am because I'm actually surprisingly good at Mario Kart, and to be good at Mario Kart, you need to be good at drifting. And yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less.
You know, I sure could go for a snow cone right about now.
Screwed up roll there, you saw what happens when that happens. And I'm still in front, which makes absolutely no sense. Okay, I do think that's going to be... No, it wasn't actually anything coming from me specifically. There are shortcuts you can open up on some tracks by hitting little things that are in the middle of the track, like little switches. But other than that, nothing... It's pretty basic kart racing. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, not in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing really wrong with it. But at the same time, it's just worth noting that if you're expecting anything particularly grand, like being able to transform your cars in Sonic and All-Stars, or the whole gravity thing where your wheels go sideways and you can ride on the walls and stuff in Mario Kart 8, or like, you know, having double weapons in Mario Kart Double Dash, or, you know, stuff like that, you're not going to get that. It's pretty basic kart racing all the way through. There's nothing wrong with that in the grand scheme of things. I'm just saying that's just how it works. The game's not much to look at, but at the same time, that's not a huge deal, mainly because it was released back when the Vita was just coming out. So for a 2012, 2011-ish handheld game, oh God, I'm doing it too. For a 2012 handheld game, it's not bad. It's not great, it's not bad. Looks a lot better on the Vita screen than it does on this video footage, I must admit. It's nowhere near as aliased. So yeah, this is what I meant by the techno track. I actually like the look of these tracks the most, and they have a lot of hard edges and stuff, which is impressive enough. Does the job. Seriously, why am I so far ahead? This game was nowhere near this easy. Thank you. All right, let's do this. This is your horn power up for Mario Kart. It hits everything around you.
There's a new feller in the lead.
Hold the drift. Boom. I was having so much trouble with this earlier. This is the first bloody time I've come first more than once in a Grand Prix. I swear this game is a lot harder than it looks.
It's about to get a whole lot hotter around here,
I suppose.
Heat blast is charged and ready to burn.
I was planning on doing another Grand Prix just to make this video like significantly longer, but everybody get ahead of me. That's alright. We spin him out right into the pit. Cool. Whoops. Die.
That there was exceedingly nasty.
There's a little example of the cutaway cam for you. That also happens if you do like a really impressive hit, like with say just an untracked missile. If you do it from a really long distance, it will pop one of those open, and that's actually pretty cool. Kind of burnouty, which is something I like, admittedly. Anything that reminds me of Burnout is a good thing.
I suspect Big Chill is
there really isn't that much more to There really isn't that much more to say though. That's the thing. It's just it really is basic. The car driving isn't amazing, but it does the job. The tracks are fine, have some nice variety, but aren't particularly impressive otherwise. And overall quality of it is okay. The technical performance is fine. Like, it runs absolutely peachy. There is no frame rate drops, there's no screen tearing, there's no nothing. It runs fine, which you would really hope for in this bloody game. Alright, so apparently I unlocked Ghost Freak, who's probably another, airtime of 3 seconds. Unlock all the arena tracks. Oh, so I was missing one of the arena tracks when I actually went and checked those modes out. I placed first! Awesome. Not very often that happens. Let's put it up to hard and really give myself an ass kicking when it decides to load. But yeah, the technical performance is absolutely fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with this game's performance at all, nothing really getting in the way of that, and the loading times are fine. Like, they're not amazing, but they're fine, they're acceptable. And we get to play on one of the ice tracks right away, which is nice. You can see where all the power-ups are there in the bottom right. The turbo boost actually gives you a tornado behind you, which will slow other people down, which is actually kind of neat. Alright, so I've put the difficulty up to hard. Let's see just how badly I'm going to get my ass kicked this time. I haven't actually played on any of these tracks. There we go. I assume they're all going to be much better at drifting and using their offensive power-ups than they were previously. This is a long enough drift. There we go. Obviously, wandering off the edges of the tracks will slow you down. Oh, that's not good. Alright, I did that to myself, but I landed on the other side just fine, apparently, and I'll take it. Someone just opened a shortcut there, but I missed it. Surprised Gwen isn't in. Is Gwen in this game? I don't remember seeing her when I was in the character select screen. You'd think she'd be a playable character. I'm not entirely sure why she wouldn't be. Notably, the tracks do actually recycle bits. Like, this part here is on the very first track you play. Assumedly, these are just longer versions of the same... Oh. I got the slowdown camera, and it was just at the right time to see my impending death. Fun. Okay. I don't want to run into that guy, because... Whoa! Hey!
Looks like somebody
okay, sure. Get the boost. Don't want to spend too long at max speed in this game, because they can and they will. No, not again. Right. Just hit the square button as soon as I respawn, and flame on, more or less. This guy basically is the Human Torch, but just by the looks of him anyway. Around the corner. Do my stunts to get my thing back up. Immediately get hit by that. Really need to keep an eye behind you. There are some weapons that'll alert you when they're coming in from behind, but there are definitely some that don't. And the big screw you gigantic wave of fire or ice or whatever weapons are definitely ones that will do that. Fire off the missile. Turn that on so I don't get hit by that. This will hopefully give me a bit of time to get ahead. And immediately run to a wall and get rid of any advantage I would have had. Wonderful! That's me in a nutshell. And I screwed that up too. Right, yeah, as you can see, actually pretty difficult now. This is about how bad it went last time I played. And by last time I mean the last hour. But still, it's challenging enough. It's not unfair. They don't have access to anything that you don't. Bloody hell, the one time I fall off that first gap, and it actually doesn't let me in the, Screw everybody on the track right now. And I'm going again. God damn it. Oh, but apparently I get moved up to 5th. I'll take it. Okay, is this the fake? No, it's not. It's actually the star.
Somebody just went on to me.
Cool. Looks pretty fancy. Third, I'll take it. Apparently, you need to come second to actually get through this, but I'll take third. This is just for demonstration purposes. Look at all these weird aliens.
This track is called Wave Runner, and it's the epitome of...
Okay. Heard enough from you, alien Hickman.
2, 1, go!
I'm probably being too mean to him. He's probably a nice guy.
I am out of here.
Oh, hi, Ben. Hello.
We have
Jesus.
a new
Just a random cut of his face, just like, slowly inching across my screen, and screw you. This game definitely does have the old, you think you're about to win, but you end up getting screwed at the very end by like 3 different things at once thing going about it. That is a thing that happens in this game.
Now that there was exceedingly nasty.
It's only happened to me once, but again, I haven't been playing too long. Whoa, really? Okay. Did not see that coming. Oh, that's a bad sign. Oh yes, the bloody waterfalls that push you closer to the edge and have bloody...
He has,
Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for.
the competition.
Yeah, those are not supposed to be anywhere near that long. Like, did you see how much... Like, I was in 4th in the last race. You saw how much time I got out of it there. Then for this one here... I got, what? Like, half the time I did? Bollocks. I told you I hadn't played on these tracks before, and I wasn't joking, guys. Gotcha! Wasn't even one of the 2 dudes I was aiming for. Sweet. Fire off the boost there, keep me boosting as long as humanly possible.
Well, he ain't a leading no more.
Wow, what was that about? Not entirely sure what hit me there, but it was a dick. Yep, that's the whirlwind. Never heard of something that combines a banana and a boost before. Although it's probably in Mario Kart Arcade GP. Funny story, I actually saw one of those machines not too long ago. I'm not joking, my local movie theater has Mario Kart Arcade GP 2. I did not know this. And I honestly wish I had taken some time to play it. I mean, I could play it. I think I have, like, the emulator that works for it here, but... Wow, timing on that power-up, mate. You never would have seen that coming.
Somebody done gone ultimate, and they is coming
Damn,
up
AI.
fast.
Oh, that would give someone vertigo if they were on it at the wrong time, wouldn't it? Alright. Come on. Damn it. It's a shame that the only way you can build up boost is by stunting. It'd be nice to be able to build up boost in some other way. Well, I'm definitely not going to get in the top 2 people to unlock the next GP. That's for absolutely sure. I'd have to bloody wipe the floor with Kevin to even stand a chance. Doesn't matter though, not in the grand scheme of things. After this, we'll have a go on one of the. We'll have a go on a couple of the battle modes. You don't need to see the elimination mode, just because it's obviously, you know, it's such an obvious concept. It's just another race.
There's more than Vulpamancers living.
So, alright. 3, 2,
1, go!
Mario Kart GP has like 100-something weapons in it. That's not even a joke. You go look it up on the Mario Wiki, and it seriously has like all the weapons listed out and what they do. It's insane. Okay, you need a boost to make it over that. Understood. Did it have to put me all the way back here?
Someone just lost their lead. Such is the fleeting nature of all things.
Wow. I am so far behind. That is going to suck. There's an environmental hazard for you. Split seconding this thing right here. Oh, crap. Well, I think we know who's going to lose this race. Give you a clue. It's me! That's a wall. Well, at least the upside on this track is it's really long, so you get to watch me fail for a lot longer. Why am I not... Yeah, fly that off. What the hell am I thinking? It's probably going to expire before it gets to anybody. Come on, give me one. Thank you!
Ultimate power is duly activated.
Hopefully this will at least catch me up.
Turning up the heat. Cut. That there's a smart move, boy.
Make the game, not the player.
Well, I'm in second. That's a nice change. Fly those behind me, I suppose, and immediately get wiped out by like 2 different things simultaneously. Because, you know, kart racing.
That's what these here kart races need, Opticon. More stuff blowing up.
Final
real
lap.
good.
I can't do the Diddy Kong Racing voice. I just can't. Mainly because it's a lady. And I might scream like a girl, but I'm not a girl. At least that's what they tell me. Whoop, 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 whoop. Made it. Like a glove.
Ooh, that sure was a feat.
I'm gonna try and get at least ahead of this bloke. Coming third after that horrible mess that we call a bloody first lap would actually be amazing. Yeah, that was just a toxic gas. That's exactly what I have actually. Let's not go too deep into that though.
You might call
30 seconds to finish the race. Fair enough. Well, I came third. Minute 23, Jesus. Right, how'd I do? I came third all up. Unfortunately, that means I don't actually get to move on to the next Grand Prix, but that doesn't matter because we're going to go and play some battle modes instead. We'll do 1 round of each and then we'll end the video off because there's really not much else to show you after that. So if we go to the Showdown, we'll do alternate alienation, team play. You can also turn on human races only, which is nice if you're doing an ad hoc game, but at the same time, if you have like 7 friends who will ad hoc this game with you, you have some really good friends. You actually have a lot of different arenas, which is nice. A lot of different shapes. We'll just hit random. And we're not going to do the Arctic Circle, because the Arctic Circle is the most boring one. We'll do the floodplain. There we go. So, Ultimate Showdown, or whatever the bloody hell they call it, is very simple. 2 minutes, team to get the most hits wins. You can also do it individually. That's pretty much it. The other mode is arguably more interesting, but it's less interesting at the same time. We'll get to why that is shortly. So,
2,
let's do this.
1, go!
And I stalled. That was actually a decent hit. Well, it looked like a decent hit. I guess it really wasn't a decent hit, though. Big item. Wow, I'm really not having much luck today, am I? Fire that out. Try and avoid the beams. It's a decent arena. All the arenas are decent. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just... well, the AI in this game doesn't really seem particularly suited to battle. I mean, at least with a mode like this, you can get away with them trying to fire off their weapons at the closest dude to them. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying, it's kind of, wow, how'd I miss that shot? Nothing wrong with that. It's just, yeah. It's the other mode that has the weird AI. Wow, I finally managed to hit someone. And apparently it put me up to second. I ran right into my own thing just as another dude was passing through it. I mean, this is team play. They don't actually tell you who's on your team except for the people that you're, except for the people that you start off next to. So you don't really know whether or not you're going for a teammate. Mario Kart Deluxe definitely handled that a lot better by, you know, actively coloring people.
Woo, we gotta make our vehicle do that, Octagon. Right, yeah.
If I'm being honest, playing this battle mode just makes me want to go play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's battle modes again, because, man, that bloody Cops and Robbers one, whatever it was called, was absolutely genius. I need to go play that again. 3, 2, 1, and we're done. Almost hit that guy, but wasn't going to work out for me, was it? So what was the final scores on that? Apparently I still managed to get the most hits. That was atrocious. Okay, new Showdown, please. We will go and do the final mode, and then we will call this video to an end. Omni-tag. It's very simple to understand. There's an item that you have to pick up. If you're holding this item, you can drive through the gates, and when you drive through the gates, you get 2 points if you are holding this thing. You can shoot people to get it off them, and you have an infinite supply of the 2 straightforward missiles to do so. That recharge after like a second, so it's not like constant spamming. And that's really it. As I said, the problem with this AI is that they don't seem overly focused on actually doing the goal of the...
Go!
They don't seem overly focused on actually pulling the goal off. I mean, now that it's on hard, things might be different, because I was playing this on easy before. You need to hold L and R and the analog stick to drift, by the way, which is a little odd, but oh, hey, I actually hit him, and I immediately got hit for it, but somehow I still have the damn thing. So let's run for. Whoa, no, goodbye. Oh, I'm hit. Okay, yeah, this is a little better. Admittedly, the easy AI wasn't particularly great, but the hard AI seems to be doing a better job at actually focusing on the objective, because I managed to get, once I had hold of the damn thing, I actually managed to get like 27 points in a row. Like, the AI just did not seem particularly focused on actually attacking me at all. So yeah, this is actually better. Well, I've got about 1 minute to summarize how I think about this game. So, honestly, it's not a bad game. Like, it's not a great game, but it's not a bad game either. The kart racing is serviceable, the tracks are varied enough, and just the general quality of it is fine. It doesn't do anything particularly new outside of, like, the attack and defense things, which actually, the attack and defense power-ups that every character has, which actually hasn't shown up too much. It doesn't actually show up in this mode at all, because, you know, you can't really do that particularly fairly on a course where there's really no jumps. But at the same time, it's not a bad game. It's not one that I would actively call a bad game. I would just call it a average game.
That there's what you might call pain.
And back when the Vita came out, this was the only kart racer around, it wasn't that bad. Honestly, it cost a bit too much back around then too, because it was about, what, like 40 bucks? It was a full price release back then. When I got this, it was about 5 bucks, and honestly, for 5 bucks, that wasn't a very bad price for this game at all. If it came out as like a digital download for 15 bucks, it would have been great. Unfortunately, I do believe it is gone now. Wow. Unfortunately, I do believe it is gone from the PlayStation Store. It has been gone for a few months at this point, so you can't actually get it unless you get a physical version, which I do believe existed at one point, although I'm not entirely sure how likely you'd be to find one. It is not a bad game. It is an average game. It's an average kart racer. I'd recommend Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed over this any day, but at the same time, it isn't a bad game. It's just an average one. A decidedly average one. And I mean, if you ever see it, why not? Like, you know, if that was interesting to you, you want to give it a shot for a few minutes, it's alright. But seriously, if you have a decision between this or Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, get Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, please. Make the intelligent decision. This has been Blue Maxima, and I will see you all next time.